Shout out to my boy NBA YoungBoy. He has struck a plea with the United States government. If you guys don't know, shout out to my man Brad for Cohen. He basically predicted this, and YoungBoy has struck what's called a global plea. So he's settled, or he's entered into an agreement with both the state government and also the federal government, and it was also it was pretty much detailed in court. I'm gonna read through this real quick. It's 10 pages, but I'm not gonna read through everything. Essentially, this is the plea. YoungBoy hereby acknowledges that he's been advised of his rights. Part of the agreement with the United States, he's going to plead guilty to count one of the indictment. You don't know what that is. Let me just get to some interesting part. So he's pleading guilty. Said the elements of each count, felon in possession of firearms, is that he's pleading guilty that he knowingly had a firearm after being convicted of a crime punishable by imprisonment for a term longer than a year, which means a felon. Okay, he's pleading that he knowingly possessed the firearms and that the firearms were in and affecting commerce. Okay, now this is where the penalty for the charge comes in. All right, give me a second. Okay. So this is a stipulated sentence. It says, pursuant to rule blah blah. The federal rules of criminal procedures and sentences imposed by the court will be as follows, okay? Which it's been agreed that they're reasonable sentences. He's going to be getting 27 months for gun possession as a felon, federal gun possession, with credit for time served going back to May 10th. So now so he gets 4 months off of that. So really he's about to serve 23 months. If we look at 85% of 23 months, because that's, it's the feds, that's the only way they don't do early release like that. So, yeah, 23 times 0.85. He's going to do about 20 months, which honestly, in about a year from now, or let's say before we get on to 2026, he'll be free. So I think he got off pretty well. His federal case, he's pleading guilty with 27 months in prison. He's also getting 5 years in probation, by the way. So he's taking 5 years in probation for another charge. That will be consecutive to the 27 months in prison. And also he will have to pay a fine of $200,000. Okay. Yeah. Now, as a part of that's his federal charge. He has a state charge for acting like he was a doctor and taking all these pills. It does say, hold on. Okay, here we go. And now it says, I understand that this plea agreement is solely between me and the United States Attorney for the District of Utah. Does not bind, blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. It says case number, whatever, filed in the Utah 2nd District Court will be dismissed after my sentencing in case, blah, blah. I will enter plea agreements for these in the Utah 1st District Court. And essentially, he's paying an extra $25,000 because whatever he pled guilty to before, they're going to just roll the indictment into whatever he pled guilty to before. Everything's going to be consecutive. Concurrent. So he's doing one jail time, all right? He just has to pay about $225,000. He'll be getting out in pretty much a year, 14 months. I think he got off easy. I think everybody was expecting him to get up to maybe 10 years. I thought he was going to get at least 4 or 5. Him getting out in 27 months, and this plea, he's taking a plea for everything, and it's going to allow him to just pretty much be free in a year. YoungBoy's winning. And you got to say salute to his attorney, Drew Finland. They say Drew Finland is a magician. He knows how to work the system. He knows everybody in the system. So for him to even get this type of plea and to resolve all YoungBoy situations, I think that's a very, very dope thing. So YoungBoy will be getting out, I'm going to say, at the top of or at the bottom of 2025 or possibly the top of 2026. That's the sentence he's gotten for being a felon in possession of a firearm. And I think it's reasonable because people have seen way more astronomical numbers based on those facts. Okay? Cool. All right. So YB's going to be free, pay $225,000, spend 27 months, which actually comes down to about like, actually, no, it would be 23 months, which actually comes down to about like 19 months. But then once everything is served, you know, it's expected that he'll be out quite soon. Right? Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. So we kind of went through the, I don't know why the fuck. Yeah, we went through Jay-Z and Birdman. We went through